What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Metahuman Macaluco, and today with me I got the skull of Spades.
Pleasure.
So, a couple of questions, because you started grilling me before we did this video, which I like. Not a lot of people actually do that. I do want to ask, you're a scare actor.
Yes.
How did that start?
It's been a very interesting story because at the time, so I did acting most of my life. I did since I was 18.
Okay.
And I did a lot of like little shows, like Broadway shows, like Susical, Once Upon a Mattress, Guys and Dolls. Like a lot of like the Broadway shows that used to be popular on Broadway, but then they were just like they kind of adhered to like the smaller, like they did the right balance.
Right.
Kind of like.
So, were you a part of your school's drama clubs or theater clubs?
Well, in high school, I was part. I did drama for a couple of years, but you know how high school is sometimes.
Yeah.
You have like those theater kids that always like act like they're all high and mighty because they're Irish thespians and.
Irish thespians. That's real.
Yes.
Yes, you fucking.
I don't need a shit.
I went through the same shit. I had drama class too. I hated my drama teacher with all my mind. My friend Steve, he knows. We had the same class, and I'm pretty sure he's still mad at me about a certain situation that happened. We did a whole diorama, and she gave it a C or a D or some crazy, something like that. And because of that, I just threw it out in a bush, and she saw it, and she blamed Steve for some reason. And too little, too late. I say something, but it's like she already chewed out Steve.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. So yeah, I feel bad about it. I'm like, damn, like I should have said something sooner. But that was years ago. We're way past that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like he's still my buddy. I'm still talking to this very day. I'm shouting him out for a reson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't
that's
mean to
okay. It's okay.
So, scare acting. And did the school ever have like haunted houses themselves?
Not that I remember, like down in Miami we had like a haunted but called House of Horror, but I'm gonna come back to that in a little bit.
Okay.
So like in high school, I was kind of part of like drama class for a couple of years. But like the teacher left, there was a new teacher that was leader, and then that kind of fell apart like my senior year of high school. Okay, cool. All right. Well, anyways, so like I didn't really go drama like I took a little bit of hiatus from 2007 to 2009.
Right.
Then I went back into theater, and theater was kind of like a big, it was kind of like a thing for me. And then like in college, I was kind of like before I started high school. So I kind of took a hiatus from 2007 to 2009. And like during that time, like I was doing like karate. I was kind of focusing on other stuff.
Oh, it did.
Because it didn't really like interest.
You did karate.
Yes.
Okay. Was it what kind of karate was it specifically?
Karate do. How they call it karate do. It's not really. It's supposed to be like some Japanese traditional.
Okay. So is it like nothing crazy like Gojo Ryu or
I think it was Gojo.
Okay.
I believe so. I could be wrong on that, but
No, I get it. No, I learned Judo briefly for a little bit from like high school up until college. So yeah. So it's always cool to run into someone that learned some sort of martial art, whether it's MMA, cage fighting, or more traditional stuff. It's all interesting to me, regardless.
yeah, I have a niche for martial arts and stuff. It's like Ninja Turtles. Like I'm always like, but like it was kind of like an interesting year where I learned how to get more self-defense. My reflexes increased, and I was just like.
It helps your confidence. That's the biggest thing about martial arts is that it definitely boosts your confidence. Think about that for a second, because now I'm not saying you should have this mentality all the time, but you kind of have this like in the back of your head, like, okay, I can take control of the situation if I need to without like relying and being violent. It's like you kind of create this main presence. Yeah. And as an actor, it's important to have that, especially if you're fulfilling a role as like medicine clown or whatever else you've done.
Right. But yeah, like you know, like I was in that for a few years, and for a couple of years. Then I went back into theater, and that's where I did like most of like the Broadway plays, like Balls, Damn Yankees, How to Succeed in Business While You're Trying. Heck, even like one of my roles, I think it was called, the musical was called 30 Mile and and I had to speak, I had to learn the lines in Cantonese and Mandarin. Yes. It was pretty funny back then.
Oh man.
And then like between like, and that was really like my end of high school to college, because within college I kind of had to step back from theater and take things a little bit more seriously.
Right.
You know, like I was like in school at the time, and for like just like those 8 years, I was kind of just working and going to school, going to cons, going to school, and you know, it really, even though I worked with the company for a few years, I still had some sense of theater, but not as much as, you know, like being on stage and acting. But though that's where cosplay kind of came in, and I kind of took some of the acting skills from there.
Okay. What was your first con?
My first con. So my first con was literally back in 2012.
Okay.
I went to SuperCon.
Okay.
But a little backstory behind that, because I didn't know that cons actually existed. I kind of thought it was like something you see in movies.
How old were you back then? You were like 4th grade, 5th grade?
So when I first found out about cons, I was...
Wait, you said 2012.
That was my first time actually going to a con. But
Okay,
I didn't know about cons like for a couple of years, like, because thanks to G4, yes, G4 people, thanks to G4, that's where I kind of like saw like conventions like San Diego Comic-Con. I was like, oh man, imagine they had something down here, like something like San Diego Comic-Con in like Miami, because it's kind of unheard of at the time.
Right.
But you know, as cons got bigger and more popular,
Right.
like thanks to like media and then like cosplayers.
Well, I don't know if you saw my interview with Juno, but the way he put it is that most cons actually pitch the ideas to city councils. And a lot of city councils look at it as either a hit or miss for their city. So that's why cons are becoming more and more popular in places like you wouldn't even think, like Charlotte and Raleigh.
Yeah.
And like that's North Carolina, and other spots. So, that's why Orlando still has MegaCon yearly. That's why SuperCon came back, still coming back yearly. Because those cons are approved by the city council, and they see it as revenue from tourism. So that's why, they're still, like, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Long and behold. So, that's something I learned.
No, that's
just only
interesting.
a few
I
weeks
never
ago.
really knew that I had to go through like console. I kind of knew it. I kind of thought it was just like
There's a lot of inner politics that happen in this business. That's why a lot of them are so successful as it is, and some of them, get booted and rebrand after failure. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So,
That's interesting though, because like I kind of thought like cons like when I was a kid, like there was like kind of like 4th and 5th grade me that was just like, okay, it's cool seeing people dress up, ha ha ha.
yeah, dude. I mean, I felt the same way. 1,000%. Because it was actually my 4th grade teacher, Mr. Reiner. He bought my dad, and his daughter all tickets to go to SuperCon together. And that was my first time going. And I was just thinking, oh, it's going to be a museum, whatever. It's not a museum. It's like you said, everyone and their mother dressed up in costumes. So I thought it was the coolest thing in the whole world. And that's how I've been consistently going, in this old age now, pretty much.
Yeah, cons have had such a special place because like when I've been going since 2012. Like I went to SuperCon for one day, and I was like, man, this is so cool. And then I went like all 4 days. There was a SuperCon 2013.
Right.
And I had a blast. I dressed up as the Doctor, the 10th Doctor from Doctor Who.
Okay.
And it was like such an experience. I'm like, oh man, it's so cool.
Nice. Okay.
And I made a lot of like friends.
I know.
I met cool people. Some I kind of like connected with. I'm still connected to them to this day. day.
That's usually how that works.
And seeing it all, like, you know, I kind of see those people, like, even like at SuperCon still. It's like, wow.
Yes.
It's actually cool to see. And it also feels like a bit of like a college reunion. Like last year, like Otaku Fest, it felt like a big reunion. Yes.
See, I kind of missed out on Otaku Fest. Last time I went was 2022.
Yeah. 2022 was like my favorite one.
Yeah.
I
That was a
also
good year. That was a good year for that convention.
Yeah. And like, you know, like during like those few years, I kind of decided to start doing panels.
Right.
You know, like my nostalgic panel series, I love that era. Because I never saw any nostalgic panels.
So, speaking of those, if you want to go ahead and plug that in, what time and what cons are you doing those at?
So this year, for this year, I have a lot packed up. So I'm trying to see Legends one, which is called I Love That Era 2000 on Friday night, and Tsunami, in case you forget the one in Orlando. I'm doing it again in Miami on Saturday night. So
Okay. Cool. You heard that, folks. If you're at either Anime or MegaCon, check them out. You already know the drill. Dialing back to the haunted house stuff. Has most of your work been paid or have you volunteered?
So actually, the Scare Act has been like my first paid gig.
Okay.
And then circling back to the whole how I got into the Scare Act, like, it was just kind of like an interesting thing about it. So like 2022 was a really crappy year.
Yeah.
And you know, I lost my job, girl I was dating, we broke up, I was kicked out. Yeah. It was a very tumbling year, and my boss was being an asshole, and you know, just a lot of, you know, like when COVID happened,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what. You know, I was kind of like sleeping on my cousin's couch.
Yeah.
At the time, and you know, I was kind of like, you know, I closed one night, and you know, I was watching a video on my phone about like these haunt sliders.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they ever heard of Slider Jesus.
I'm not familiar.
Okay, so he's someone on TikTok. That he's basically like he's a haunt slider, so he'll slide and you see like sparks coming out of his gloves. It's actually really cool. Like,
I didn't even know they had terminology for it. That's cool.
Yeah. So they think of it like those sliders that you see that they just like slide down this and they scare it.
Okay.
So they're called haunt sliders.
Gotcha. When you've done the haunted houses, have you ever had an encounter with Tampa J?
Tampa J? No, I haven't.
Are you familiar with Tampa J?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I think you'll dig this guy. He's one of my personal favorite YouTubers I like to watch. Unfortunately, I've made the mistake of watching him yearly versus every day because he does a lot of haunted houses.
Pleasure, brother.
Absolutely.
You up, brother.
For sure. A lot of haunted houses. Both in Florida, because that's where he started off. His name's Tampa J for a reason. He started off at Hollow Screen, reviewing Hollow Screen, and then he would go to Orlando, review Halloween Horror Nights. And as time went on, he expanded. He started reviewing haunted houses in, like, outside of Florida. You know, he's done reviewed Sir Henry's Haunts. That's like a year-long thing. So like they'll have like Christmas haunts,
Yeah.
Easter haunts, St. Patty's haunts, like open year-round. So I don't know. That's something you might want to look into.
Definitely.
Especially if you're like really into that shit. It's definitely worth it. And I say this very loosely. He's like the Anthony Fantano of haunts, because it's like he's like one of the few people. It's like his niche. Like he goes out and like a lot of them are cool as fuck. Like he's very lenient with his reviews because it's like a lot of people out there do put in a lot of work. You know, there's like a few floppers here and there, but like as far as everything else goes, like, and he'll also get like behind the scenes tours as well for his YouTube channel. So it's definitely worth a look at because you never know. You might have to go back to your place next year this upcoming Halloween, and you might have a run-in with Tampa J. You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah.
he travels a lot. He's in California right now, I believe.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's actually impressive. I'll have to ask one of my friends if he ever heard of Tampa Bay. But yeah, like going back to the whole got scare acting. So fixing that video, I was kind of like, okay, whatever. That's pretty cool.
Right.
So one night, so after I got off work, I had to pay gas. And I went to Wawa.
Okay.
And I bumped into a friend of mine, which I knew since college. So my friend, he's the I'm so sorry.
No, he is.
But he's the face of House of Horror.
Okay.
So he's been like you'll see his face.
Yeah.
Everywhere when House of Horror comes around.
Yeah.
And I saw him like working at Wawa. Because like I lost connection with him during COVID.
Yeah.
I was like connection with a lot of people. And it was a bit of a villain arc too, because I didn't like between that 2020, 2022, I thought it was a bit of a villain arc for me.
Yeah.
But you know, I reconnected with him. He told me I told him like, hey, do you still work at House of Horror? And he was like, yeah, man. And I'm like, you know, I'm kind of thinking about doing haunting House of Horror, and you know, what is it I have to do? And he gave me all the details.
Right.
And you know, I went to audition. And once I auditioned, you know, one of my friends was auditioning for it. And you know, I got the part. I was like, yeah! So I got the scare. And you know, I didn't know what to expect from it. Like, I remember like the first media days I had to do. You know, they kind of had me as a clown.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool just being that crazy clown. And at the same time, it's taking me back into acting. You know, because thanks to my acting skills that I had, like the past few years,
It helped in the long run.
yeah,
Pleasure, bro. Stay safe, bro.
You too.
it helped a lot. So like, literally, throughout around like the past 3 seasons I've been part of House of Horror, I kind of even like come out of my shell again.
Yeah.
Because even so, I was like 2022 was a really dark year, and then like coming out of that shell and just bringing hope and being like, you know what, this is actually cool. This like, you know, this like even I won't forget my first day actually working. I was outside. I was part of the outside crew.
Right.
And they gave me a chainsaw dressed as a clown, so I had to chase people with a chainsaw. And that was hilarious. It felt like a good time to see like what am I gonna do? It's like be a mess of society.
Yeah.
You got it.
I feel it.
And, you know, like I kind of like played on to I made my character, like his name's Rubix the Clown. He's a clown with many faces.
Rubix the Chaotic Clown.
Yes.
I thought it was the Skull of Spades.
Well, the Skull of Spades is my cosplayer name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have different aliases. Okay,
Yeah.
my fault. I
Yeah, that's
conflated
okay.
the whole thing. Okay, I got
It's
it.
okay.
You know, I thought like, I get it. You know, it's an alter alias, but it's like it's still cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't really know a lot of scare actors like that. So I'm glad I actually got to know a little bit more about it thanks to you.
Oh, thank you. So it's just, yeah, Skulls of Spades is kind of like my. I was trying to build something out of that with my 3D printing and stuff, but then, you know, that kind of like fell apart. I was just like, what am I really gonna do with this? So I kind of just removed that alias. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use it for cosplay purposes.
Yeah.
So just in case if I'm being cosplay, Skulls of Spades will be the name.
Okay. Hell yeah, dude.
And yeah, like House of Horror is good. You know, scare acting. You know, I made a lot of good friends at House of Horror.
Okay.
And I bonded with even my friend from college. And I reconnected with old people too. So I was like, wow. It felt phenomenal. It was like having that sense of family again.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any particular favorite horror movies or favorite horror anime?
So horror anime. Let's go with the horror movies, because obviously this has been kind of a new one, but I kind of love it because it's like old school slasher context. It's Terrifier.
Okay. I feel
I'm
like
even
that's
wearing
like
the
most
t-shirt
popular
right
one
here.
now.
Like the Terrifier.
That is a sick shirt.
Thank you.
Can you actually flash that on the camera?
Oh yeah, for sure. So this is from Split Arts. I believe that's his name. Let me cut that real quick. Here we go. So this is from Split Plug Art. He's on Instagram. He creates a lot of horror-themed t-shirts, stickers, sweaters, like a whole 9 yards.
My boy fucks with it mad heavy.
Yeah, it's like I love his artwork. So I actually seen this shirt. I even got a sweater for my cousin that says "Read Bang Books."
Right.
And the book from Evil Dead.
Okay.
So
That's fun. That's fun.
yeah, it's really cool.
Do you have any plans for doing your own streaming or YouTube in the near future?
I've been, I know during COVID I was kind of digging around with it, but you know, I'm kind of like opening up to doing up more stuff, you know, especially like probably more TikTok, maybe do more unboxing videos of like figures, or you know, nostalgic stuff.
I got you.
Because like even there's one video I have on TikTok, for anyone who has TikTok. This one video on TikTok, it's basically a video of Dandy Bear. I don't know if you ever heard of Dandy Bear.
Not familiar.
Okay, so Dandy Bear is an old amusement center. Kind of like Chuck E. Cheese's, but it's a locally owned Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
And you know, it has a special place in everywhere we grew up in. There used to be like locations in, location in Kendall, location near FIU, one in Hialeah.
That's
So
insane.
there were a lot of locations, but they kind of like split to one. And then 3 years ago was its last year. And I had a video of just going through everything, and that video has like about like 4K views.
Okay. Hell yeah.
You gotta check it out. It's like I have like a nice little scroll of it, and it's like really like it's really like a special place in everyone's heart.
For sure. Okay. Do you have any other upcoming haunts that we should know about?
So currently the only haunt I have right now is, well, most likely I'll be doing House of Horror again.
Okay.
So that's definitely gonna be a for sure thing. But anything earlier than that, not at the moment. Maybe I might go to Spooky Empire.
I got it.
I'm still trying to work things out a little bit.
I feel it, dude.
Because I'm also planning for more cons. Because I'm trying to aim to go to more cons this year. So it's kind of been like, I kind of need to plan around that too.
Business cards.
Business cards.
Business cards help.
Okay.
Get yourself some business cards on the goal. Real shit.
I have business cards like more for like professional, like I'm a web designer too.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words you'd like to share with the audience? Any advice or anything you'd like to say?
Let's see. Alright, so all I can say is, you know, don't hold yourself back.
Her name is not.
There are times in your life where you feel like, oh, you may not do this, or you feel scared of doing
It's not
this.
Ibiza.
You sometimes have to take the leap of faith.
It's not like this.
And, you know, that leap of faith, the risk that you take, even though you fail, don't let that failure be like your downfall. Right. Because, you know, I live my life being like, you know, like there's moments where I'm just like, oh, I did this, and then like it fails. I kind of like took it as like, I can't succeed kind of thing. But you sometimes have to like just take a breather from it and just come back to it with like what you learned, and like kind of like figure out how to get better next time.
Gotcha.
I feel like that's more of a general
I
life
thought you were
thing.
Sam for a while.
Like, I know like your shyness may hold you back. It hold me back on a few opportunities. Some I kind of regret. But you know what? Like, I feel like once you persevere, and you have like, you know, like even like in the comic community, there's people that like I know like a lot of people will think like, oh no, I'm too scared to ask this cosplayer where to get this or where to get that. Like, no, ask. You know, ask for any advice.
You're right. Communication's a two-way street.
Yeah, like you
Worst
can
thing they can
ask.
do is tell her to fuck off, and you fuck off, and you just ask someone else.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
what it comes down to.
Basically, you just need to know like you know, like You know, I feel like the community should be like building on each other. Kind of like I kind of see, I kind of see the cosplay community kind of like the 3D printing community. We kind of help each other, like even if you go on Reddit, like if you're having like an error with like your 3D prints, like hey, what's going on with this? Like they kind of like tell you like, oh, do this, do that.
No, I feel it.
I remember one year, like even like 3D printing wise, like that was my first time 3D printing, and for some reason, my printer just went pretty flat. And I was just like, what is going on? I was working with the Ender 3. And people in the cosplay community, in the 3D printing community know that the Ender 3 was literally like a really old 3D printer.
Yeah.
That was like, it's near 10 years old by now. But yeah, like they told me, oh yeah, just change the Z axis to 800. I'm like, okay. And then it prints normally. I'm like, okay, I got it now. So, but going. But going back to school, as long as you have have your friends like help you through thick and thin, and and always have your friends be by your side. Yeah, that's also one thing. Like, don't abandon your friends because like, oh, I have a girlfriend or I have a wife or I have kids. No, you have your friends. Your friends will always love you for what you are.
Well, I have to respectfully disagree to a certain degree because sometimes, yes, your friends should back you up, but also your friends also have their own lives and they have their own dreams and aspirations. I have a buddy who's trying to get into the medical field. I have another buddy who is trying to leave one store to another. I'm not going to ask them to sacrifice their personal time just to help me. So, there's only a degree to how much.
There's a certain degree to it. Yeah, I should have I should have just clarified to a certain extent.
Yeah, No, I hear you, man. But I do want to wrap things up, and I do appreciate you for stopping by. If you haven't done so, his Instagram is in the description in the bottom below. And as always, check out the next Metahuman.
Fuck Lucas Versace.